Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay back with another video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Violators from the Spawn comics. And as always, we're going to be taking a look at the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at the box. The front of the box looks like the side, the back, the other side, and this is a very heavy top and bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at the figure outside the box. Unfortunately, these Spawn figures don't come with a card similar to the DC Multiverse, but it is what it is. It does come with a regular puck, which I am using 2 of them because this thing is very, very heavy. Now, in terms of this figure, well, usually when I do my overviews of figures, if you're the first time watching one of my videos, well, welcome. But usually what I like to do is I go from top to bottom. I mean, I talk about the head sculpture, paint, and articulation, and do the arms, upper body, and lower body. But I'm going to do something like I did with Cyborg, which I want to talk about the articulation first, and then the sculpture and paint. And I do this because, man, this thing is... You'll see what I mean, but I have to do it like this. So let's talk about the articulation. So head articulation, I don't think there's none. I could be wrong. This figure is, I don't know with Spawn. Leave it in the comment section below if you guys have other Spawn figures, and they're pretty stiff, but mine's stiff, so I don't know if this articulates or not. So please, if it does articulate and I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section. So it seems like it does, but I could be wrong. I know there's mouth articulation. You can see that, and you can open it up. It looks very cool. Shoulder articulation is present. There you go. There is no bicep, but there is elbow. If I can do the elbow. There you go. There's some. Again, just mine are very stiff for some reason. And of course, there is I don't want to say wrist, but there you go, a wrist. In terms of torso articulation, there is some, not a whole lot. It's more of like crouch forward than anything. It's usually in the torso. And then leg articulation, there is leg articulation. Oh, you guys can see that right there. And of course, there is like a knee. There you go. Man, this thing is stiff. There is ankle. Oops, it's off. Ankle articulation, right? You can see that right there. The little joint right there. There you go. And there's like a little bit of toe. You can see that. So there is some, it's just my figure is very, 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 very stiff. Now, in terms of articulation, again, there is some. I'm not gonna lie to you. There is quite a bit, but mine's just very stiff, and I do not know if this articulates in terms of the head. So, like I said, if there is articulation on the head, leave it in the comment section. Just my figures so far with Spawn are just ridiculously stiff, and I don't want to break anything. So, overall, from my experience, articulation, it's doable, it's passable. For a figure like this, it's good, it's passable. Now, let's talk about the sculpture and paint. Because this is where this thing shines. Because the sculpture design of this figure, it is top notch. And I will say this right now, this is heavy. This is heavy. So be careful. If you're gonna actually put this on display, make sure you have it stand correctly because this thing is heavy. So in terms of the head sculpture, just look at that paint and that detail on that paint. This just looks fantastic. It has a big mouth. McFarlane and his weird looking designs, they look weird, but they look cool. The red eyes look very, very good. And something that I noticed too, it has this weird kind of design to it. You can see that on the eyes. I dig it with the black outline. Again, then his teeth. Look at all that teeth, even on here in the mouth. That teeth, that detail in the teeth looks fantastic. Even on here, I don't know if it's horns or not, but just look at that detail. Look at that sculpture, that paint. It just looks raw and dirty. And then you got to have right here on the top there too. Very, very thick like skin. Almost like Killer Croc, or not Killer Croc. Yeah, Killer Croc. Kind of skin, but just very more defined. And what I like about it, it's not symmetrical. It's not like this amount here. It's this side. Oh, well, there you go. This side has this becoming bumpy. This one doesn't. It's a little different, and I like that. It gives it more a unique look to it. But it is just the detail on it is fantastic. You got that black kind of washed out paint on there too. You can definitely see the black right there, and it just scattered throughout the whole entire figure. And again, this is just the head, or like the neck. I don't know if you call this the neck, but it is just fantastic. You got that another bone right here. I don't know what you want to call it, but another horn. I don't know, but just look at that detail. Like, just look at all this stuff. Like this is what makes figures stand out, and I can't deny it. McFarlane figures, he makes such a good detail. And this is a perfect example. And again, we're just talking about the head sculpture and whatever this is, the back or the upper back. Just look at all that paint, and you can really feel like the thickness of his skin. It just feels rough, and it just, I don't know. It has like a weird rough feeling to it, but it looks cool too, man. I really dig it. Then let's take a look at the back, because the back is also cool. Look at that. Just look at that detail, man. Look at the bones right here. And again, all of that detail. You guys can see that? It just really looks so good. I really dig it. And like I said, you notice the bones right here. You see the little holes right there in the bones, but I don't know if it's called bones, but see the little holes? See the size of it and design? And over here, it's a little different. And that's what I like about this figure, is that some sides, it looks a certain way, but the other side is different. And it makes it look unique, and just really stands out. There's another example right here. You have the spikes right here, the bone sticking out right here. See that? And then here, there's less. Little things like that make the figure really stand out, and you appreciate it more, and it just grabs your attention, because when you look at it on one side, you like and appreciate it. But when you look at the other side, there's some small subtle differences where it just grabs your attention. You want to keep looking at it, and you appreciate things like this, man. And so to me, in terms of the head sculpture, it looks fantastic. You got the browns right there, the dark brown with the black washed out, definitely black washed out. This has like the army or military green, as some people would say, with the black wash. It looks so good, man. Let's take a look at the arms. Again, same thing that's on here in the back and the face, also present on the arm. Just look at all of that detail. This bone sticking out just looks dirty and ugh. But I dig it. I really dig stuff like this. It just looks so cool. And articulates too. That's the crazy part, is it articulates. You can really pose this guy to however you want. Look at that. It's just really cool, man. And just the amount of detail is just fantastic. And again, it does articulate. It's just that so far my experience with Spawn figures, especially the mega ones, they're really stiff, which I don't know, maybe just me, I don't know. But anyways, though, just look at that forearm. It's just really dirty, but it just, man, it looks so cool. Then you got the nails on his hands. Look at that. The detail right there. Just top notch. And this is why McFarlane figures really do well, and people really love McFarlane, because little details like this is just top notch, man. Let's take a look at the other arm. And then notice the paint too. You got a little bit lighter here, and then this side's a lot more darker in paint. My camera's not picking it up, unfortunately, but it's a bit more darker on his right side. But just look at that shoulder piece, the detail, the bones on there too. Just fantastic. You can see the bicep right there too. Looks so good, man. I really dig it. And notice again, look at the bone position. You got left, right, and then bottom. Here on his right bicep, you got 1, 2, 3, and one little corner right there. So again, little differences, very subtle, but again, those differences, you appreciate it more, because when you look at this, you'd be like, okay, that's kind of cool. But when you look at the other side, you see a little different design, and you continue looking at it more, and you appreciate it more. And that's what I like about this figure. And fantastic. Just look at that detail, dude. Come on. Tell me that don't look cool. Tell me that don't look dope, man. And again, that's just the arms and a little bit of the upper body. I wish you could see more, but you got more design right there on his body. Just more of that skin, very thick skin character. I'm not familiar with this character, nor the Spawn comics, so I'm assuming he's a bad guy based upon how he looks. And again, let me know if I'm wrong, or if he's a hero. I don't think he's a hero or anti-hero. I think he's a villain, but nonetheless, so fantastic, man. And of course, the main question is it worth the price purchase? The upper body, what I think about it, paint, it looks cool. I know people can say, well, it's just one solid paint, and it's true. You're 100% correct. It's just that one, like two kind of colors, but the whites, military green, the black wash, but that red looks good, especially on that mouth right there, that nice gloss red, and you can really see the thickness right there. It looks so good. Then you get that bright red with the gloss on the eyes. Fantastic. Then you got all this sculpture design and the weight to it too. Like I said, this thing weighs a lot. So overall, the upper body, fantastic, man. This is 10 out of 10 quality stuff. I'm telling you, you have to see this in person. The camera does not do it justice, man. It looks so cool, man. Now let's take a look at the lower body. Just look at that. Look at that. Look at all of that detail. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is why people are excited for the DC Multiverse by McFarlane. And man, he is... I know this is Spawn, but again, I'm referencing DC Multiverse because look at all this detail on these figures from McFarlane. And he's incorporating a lot of details also to the DC Multiverse. Maybe not as much because Spawn is his creative activity. I mean, it's not creativity, creative designs. And so with the DC, he has to pay licensing. But regardless, though, I can see why people are saying, I hope, people are wishing that McFarlane does Marvel figures, which I hope not, but it is what it is, though. But look at all that detail. That looks so cool, man. The thigh right there, too. Again, a little different design. Very subtle, but again, looks very good, man. And then you got more on that leg design. Just look at that paint. This is just top notch. And you get the feet right there too. This is just top notch quality, man. Now, of course, the main question is this worth your purchase? Should you go out there and get this? To me, for $50, this is retail for $50. I think you're getting a fantastic figure for $50. Now, there are two versions of this figure. There's two of them. There's this one, and then there's a bloody one. And I'll talk about that very shortly regarding that one. But again, if you were to ask me, is this worth the purchase at least $50, right? The retail price. I think for retail price of $50 for getting a figure like this, I think it is worth the purchase of $50. The sculpt design looks good. There's weight to this character, which I'll talk about in a bit. But there's weight to this character. The paint is really good. The sculpture design is very good. The size is good too. And for $50, you're getting something like this. I definitely think it's really worth the purchase of $50, and you're getting a really good deal for $50. Now, there are some couple things you might have to consider. One, the weight. This is a pretty heavy figure, so keep that in mind. Like, there's a reason why I'm holding this because I'm trying to pose him a certain way he doesn't fall. But again, just keep that in mind. This figure does weigh quite a bit. He's up a lot of upper body weight, so keep that in mind. But it's just a fantastic figure. For, like I said, for $50, heck yeah, thumbs up for me. For $50, really worth the purchase price. Now, did I get this for $50? No, I actually got it during Black Friday, and I made a video of some Black Friday Amazon deals, and I got this on Amazon for $30. So if I think it's worth it for $50, dude, for $30, heck yeah, 100% definitely worth the purchase price for $30. Now, if you're one of the lucky ones who was able to get the GameStop exclusive one, I believe it's exclusive, but there's another version of this one with just blood on it. It's basically the same figure, there's just kind of blood stains on it. And for GameStop, that one was going on sale for $20. So for $20, if you're lucky to get that, heck yeah, you got such a good deal. And to me, what I paid for $30, I think is definitely worth the purchase price. And like I said, for $50 retail, thumbs up for me, man. Highly recommend getting this figure. Fantastic figure. The only downside is just the weight. It's not a bad thing. It's just keep that in mind. You're going to have to pose them a certain way. And I'm trying to pose them right now quickly so I can kind of show it, demonstrate it to you guys. But there you go. Hopefully I got it right there. But again, there is some weight to this figure, so keep that in mind. And it's not a bad thing. I'm just letting you know. But to me, for $50, I think it's worth the purchase price. I paid $30. Double thumbs up for me. Or fuck you, because you got such a good deal that it's almost a steal. So that's my opinion of Violator. Here we have Deathstroke from the Rebirth era, and of course Violator. You can definitely see the height difference. Really huge difference in the height. But Good looking figure, and like I said, you can see the difference in height. I'm going to try to turn Violator around, have a little face off. Just that there's a way to it. You just have to pose him a certain way. But there you go. A size comparison between Deathstroke Rebirth and Violator. Here we have Damian Wayne from the Amazon 5-pack Bat Family exclusive edition, and of course Violator. You can just see the size comparison. It's not even funny. It reaches up to Violator's what? Maybe knees? Let me take a look here. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Again, the only downside is just the weight of this Violator figure, but it reaches almost right at his crotch. So if you have this figure, you want to know how tall Damian is, just look at Violator's crotch, and that's how you know how tall he is, Damian, compared to Violator. Here we have Green Arrow from the Injustice 2 Page Punchers wave. I'm pretty sure it's Page Punchers. And of course, Violator. You can see a regular height comparison. Cool looking figure. Both of them look really cool. But I mean, just look at that beefiness and there's just a massive figure, man. And we'll do a little face off right here. You guys can see them two facing off each other. You got Violator and of course Green Arrow. And of course, I had to do this comparison. You got Cygor from Spawn and Violator. You guys can see the height difference. If you thought this was a big figure, this is even bigger. That's ridiculous, man. And the amount of detail, it is just top notch, man. It is just top notch. Just look at this. Fantastic, man. Fantastic. We'll do a little bit of face off here. Hopefully he doesn't fall. And we got Cygor. You can see the height comparison. Look at that. Come on, man. That looks so cool, dude. So cool. Of course, I had to do this comparison. You guys, Joker, Titan, Mega Fake, and we have Violator. Again, you guys can see the height comparison, and from the looks of it, I think their Joker might be a little taller because of the hair. But you know what? Let's do a little face-off here. You guys can see if Joker really is taller than... And I don't want to hit him because he might fall. And yeah, he is taller, just a smudge, just for size comparison. But again, I'm showing you this one, and I really wanted to show you this one comparison because I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think for $40 for this Joker Mega Fake looks really good. And for $40, I think it's worth the purchase price. For again, retail, if you can get it cheaper, better. But for $10 more, look at the size of this one. Sure, he might be a smidge smaller, but the size, but the thickness of him, the detail and the paint for $10 more, like you really can't beat this, man. For $50 retail, I think it's a really good deal for the amount of figure and paint and sculpture design you're getting for Violator. And so if you can get it for the price that I paid for, which is $30, even better. And of course, if you're the lucky ones who got the GameStop one, I believe it's GameStop exclusive, the Violator with the bloodstain for $20 via GameStop. Dude, fuck you. I mean, I don't mean in an offensive way. I mean, like, you know, fuck you. You got a good deal, but if you're lucky, you got one. Hey, more power to you, man. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with this figure? Do you plan on purchasing this figure, or did you already purchase this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to the support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So it includes an overview of the Mega Fig Violator by the Spawn wave or figure line, and on to the next one.